Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome to my Third Age Total War Mordor campaign on the Divide and Conquer mod and AI and gameplay overhaul submod, commonly referred to as DAC-AGO or DAC-AGO. Everyone's been raving about this mod, so I thought I'd go check it out. So, the objective and challenge of this series is to destroy the factions of Gondor and Rohan, occupy and battle for the settlements of Minas Tirith, Osgiliath, Calandros, Pelegria, Helm's Deep, and Edoras. If I can't complete this objective and a short victory campaign, short victory conditions, I'll consider this campaign a failure. Let me know other campaigns and challenges you would like me to do in the comments. I want to do more Third Age on the channel. So, let's raise an army worthy of Mordor. I hope you guys enjoy. So starting off a campaign, it's always good to look and assess the strengths and weaknesses of a faction. So one of Mordor's strengths lie in the surrounding topography and mountains of Mordor. It's a really defensible position with heaps of supporting fortresses as well. The Black Gate and Minas Morgalt are fantastic choke points to hold. We also can get an advanced blacksmith building wise later on, and it's going to be a while before we get sort of better quality, heavier units and infantry. Weaknesses wise for Mordor, units early on, we have a lot of orc garbage, trash, garbage, which we'll need to spam. So they're going to be a little bit expendable in this series, orcs and orcs generals, which is probably quite realistic. There's going to be a fair few losses just due to how much better Gondor is in the early game. Like, you just really can't compete with the Gondor units in the early game. We've got no cav as well until the allied tribes of Rhûn and Harad send some units. The allied tribe mechanic kicks in, and we don't have that many Nazgûl to start off with as well. They get trickled down in the campaign, so we do have to wait a fair amount of turns to get access to the Nazgûl pool. So what we're doing now is we're going to set a rally point for Minas Morgult. I want all my available units to make their way there. So we have access to one Nazgûl, Leofric. So one of the major features you can already see from this AGO submod is the campaign map. It is vastly different, and Mordor looks even more dark and gloomy and desolate compared to the original DAC campaign map. So we'll try and get all my generals bodyguard, all my orcs to Minas Morgult, and then we'll start making some plays against Gondor. I think trying to rush them earlier on is definitely the play, but they give Gondor so many scripts in these mods and so many decent units early on. Like, before you could rush them quite effectively, but we might have to take our time pushing towards Osgiliath. Okay, construction-wise, we can have a look. Garrison Quarters early on is probably not a bad idea, just so we can get better quality infantry. Slave quarters as well gives us free unit upkeep, so that will help our finances in the long run. And we also want to try and get building reduction as well. We do want to try and get an advanced blacksmith at some point. The thing is with Mordor as well, as you can see, we've actually got a lot of fortresses on our border here, which not many factions do this early on. Look at this, even Durthang has a fortress inside, so we can get these garrison buildings up. We should be able to get some pretty decent units early on. We're going to have to temper that with our finances, so let's build a mine and start mining and fracking some of the hills in Mordor, just to get our economy up a bit. Maybe even a hunting lodge to grow some of these territory in Nirn and sort of Tharbad and stuff. Yeah, we'll build like a building grounds there, I guess, or maybe a grain exchange for tradable goods. Allies and enemies wise, it's probably what you'd expect. Rhûn and Harad are on our side, while Gondor and Rohan are our enemies and the elves. Okay, so there's an army here we could probably attack, because we've got movement on them. So it looks like the garrison from Eastern Osgiliath has now come out. I'm just trying to see if there's any other armies baiting me in there. Look, we might use this as an opportunity to try and destroy the garrison that's moved out there. The Nazgûl's actually in range, but do we have enough with Guthmog? We should have enough, but we might Oh, we can't hit it with the Nazgul. That would have been more beneficial. Yeah, so we outnumber them. Like, a lot. 3 to 1, maybe even 4 to 1. And the balance of power is still quite close. So our first real battle against the Gondorians. The foolish men of the west and of Gondor have marched out of Osgiliath. And we'll try and make them pay. So, Orc Bodyguard is what we're really going to need for this battle. Our archers aren't the best either. So, we'll just have to see how we go. But those Gondorian defenders, essentially, one of their units is worth 3 of ours, I'd nearly say. So Leo Frick is coming in as reinforcements. So let's have a look at the units. So here is Guthmog. He has a pretty decent Morgul Chosen unit. More of a defensive unit to hold choke points. But we might have to use it a little bit offensively in this one. Orc Maulers. Mostly make up from their bodyguards as well. We'll put the generals on the left and right flank. We've got 1 Orc Mauler unit in the center. Even these guys are a light unit. The rest is mostly made up of Orc Host and Orc Spears. So, the play for this battle, to swarm, surround, pin down the enemy and try and flank with these general units if we can. But here are the defenders of Gondor. So look at this. Gondor heavy infantry, 152. And then they've got some good archers there as well. So this is going to be a tough one. Also, there's a Swan Knight guard in that unit. Crikey. So there's 16 of them. That's going to be really hard to break down. And they also just have some General Gondor cavalry as well. I don't know what variant they are, but they look alright. Okay, so let's move the host up. Make sure that Theofric the Nazgul is on the attack, because we need his reinforcements as quickly as possible. This is going to be a difficult one, because we're probably not going to be able to pierce either the heavies or the Swan God too much. So we're just going to have to try and hit an array of the enemy, just to divide out the hit points. So the first real conflict of the Third Age, Mordor and Gondor battle outside the fields of Osgiliath. We will have the siege of Osgiliath. That's a really good charge. They've caught me on the side there. That's not good. They could have nearly broken there. So let's try and pivot and swing around where we can. So there's a lot of custom settlements in Third Age, of course. The settlements I mentioned will try and play throughout this series. You got your Minas Tirith, your Calandros, Helm's Deep, Edoras, Minas Tirith, Osgiliath. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I will be doing a fair few episodes in this mini-series. Okay, let's try and I think flanking with my archers, like trying to get them to arc their shots up over my orcs, is probably not the play. We might be better, yeah, try and do this. Try and go on the left and right and get directly behind them so they're hitting these units right in the back. We are holding for now, but I really don't like the rate. Oh no, at these orcs, because they are just getting shredded. They have very little melee attack, and Gondor excels in melee defense, so we've lost 21%. And we do have a reinforcing army coming in. Come on, Gothmog, try and swing around. You might be best suited to try and take out that Swan unit. Still a little bit too close to call this one for my liking, but this is a massive opportunity for us if we can pull it off. Just need to keep on running and double timing. There we go. Now target those Swan Knights. Right, archers, once you get here, yeah, try and form up something like that. Because then we don't need to arc our shots. It will massively increase our effectiveness of our skirmishes. And it'll stop that friendly fire coming over the top as well. Okay, maybe chuck one of you there, because it's taking just so long for them to get there. They've done the smart thing and hit one of my archers that stood back. Actually broke away from the front line. Oh my god. There we go. Alright. Target those royal swans. So they're just Penethgillen cavalry. Nothing too crazy. Alright, you target them. You make your way here. Right, now start hitting these archers and infantry from behind. Took you long enough. You sorry sod of orcs. That's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. Hitting them from behind. Massively exposing them in the back. And that like little cavalry unit ain't doing much. There's only a couple there. But already, most of these orcs are melting away. The thing is in Mordor, particularly early on, we have numerical supremacy. Because we can just spawn and pop out orcs. But we do not have the quality whatsoever. So we barely can even hold a front line. Our infantry. Only the generals are holding 38 to 33. Enemy general fallen, that's really good. So we've managed to pretty much eliminate the Swan Knight unit. It's the archers now that are really just going to have to try and carry. But you just sort of got to chuck your orc generals in.
If we continue like this,
So be it if they get sacrificed. Because we're gonna get plenty of opportunity to adopt more. Because like you just can't not use them. Like if we were just to sit back and try and allow our infantry to do the work, we'd probably lose this fight. So some heavies are now routing, which is brilliant. And just try and swing some of our orc boys around. We might even be able to pull them back actually, because yeah, 40. So now it's swung back to there. Gothmog is really getting stuck into it. Okay, they've managed to regain some ground. And we've got these additional Nazgul reinforcements. So they're in a temple marksman unit. They don't have Nazgul cavalry, so they've changed that. That was only one of the ways you could get cavalry early on. Nazguls have like fantastic heavy riders. So it's about 65-70% in our favour now. And it looks like the tide is swinging back under Mordor's sway. Yeah, so basically just try and get my archers to surround, fire from multiple angles and vectors of attack, and hit them. And we'll be able to march into Osgiliath just that little bit easier. But also this is the first sort of real test. I haven't played DAC AGO before. So there has been some AI and gameplay tweaks and changes. But so far, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
But from what I expect in DEI, like Mordor being weak, Gondor being very strong with scripts, it wasn't too much of a surprise this first battle. But it looks like now the Gondorian force is nearly in a full retreat. 99% in our favour now. We lost 44%. Crikey. So it is quite hard. I remember in like vanilla third age, if you're quick enough, you can actually rush Minas Tirith win it in a couple of turns. Nope, not in this. Oh, there's some brave Swan Knights left. And they're getting stuck into a Nazgul marksman guard there. Oh wow, these two Swan Knights have gone to town. They've managed to take about 6 or 7 of them. Crikey, yeah! Take that. Flee! Flee for your lives. There's only 2. We should be able to bring them down. Oh, there we go. Nice, good shot. Ah, victory. Clear victory. We managed to run some of the remaining stragglers down, but we did lose quite a bit in that battle. Okay, we'll execute them. Enemy camp sacked. And yeah, we'll push back to Minas Morgalt and replenish and repair those units we lost. But a good real first fight in Osgiliath. Okay, so it's time to actually have the siege of Osgiliath. We've managed to replenish and repair. Faramir is inside with a decent garrison now, but we did whittle down the army on the outskirts. So we've managed to get a crazy full stack going. A lot of general spam. So let's fight this one on the field. Okay, our first real siege of the series. We have the battle for Eastern Osgiliath. And we've got a massive opportunity here to get rid of Faramir of Gondor. Now, unlike the Nazgul, I'm pretty sure Faramir as a unit doesn't come back. Same with Boromir. So, the quicker we can eliminate some of Gondor's high-ranking generals, the better. But this is going to be a tough one. The Battle of Osgiliath is tough. Sometimes there's also a little bit lag for some reason on the eastern part of Osgiliath. But we've got Leofric here, Nazgul, Guthmog, and we're playing in the snow. It is winter. I wasn't expecting a winter offensive in Osgiliath, to be honest, but whatever. Okay, so where's the town square? It's here. We do have a lot of archers. They have some of their rangers. There is Faramir of Gondor. So I think what we'll do, the plan is to probably try and skirmish them out as best we can. As you can see, this is the entrance in. So Osgiliath is massively depleted and degraded. Like the wall's not here. So we should be able to arc our shot up and over. We do have some is it Marin Guard or whatever it's called? Spearmen, they look alright. And we've got an abundance of orc generals that we can throw in as well. So we'll try and draw and kite out a couple units and just get my archer spam to hit them. But obviously the orcs weren't renowned for their archer ability, just the numerical advantage of them. We do have a bodyguard. We've also got a Nazgul marksman unit, so that should be alright. So we might have to move some of them in. Just depends how passive Gondor are, because at the end of the day this is an offensive siege rather than a defensive, so it may or may not come out against me. So there's a unit of archers coming up here and there. We should be able to out-skirmish them. Especially those Ithilien rangers. They've got the range and the damage ability, but they are just so woefully unarmored. We're getting way too close to those scouts there. Okay, so they're starting to move up a bit. Just need to watch out for that charge. So pull everyone back. But maybe because we've gone so close to them, we might be able to draw them out. Oh! Those Gondorian defenders were coming quite close to us. But that's okay. We'll get all my archers to try and hit them. Yeah, here we go. This is what we're talking about. So once we start attacking them and hitting them, particularly those Gondor infantry with impunity, they want to try and close the distance and attack us. Because if we can funnel them out through that gate, that would be ideal. So, because we're quite easily and competently arcing our shots over the top. Oh, it looks like we've got a bit of a couple of frosty orcs here. Oh, wow. As you run through the snow, it gets all over you by the look of it. Oh, wow. They've got like a nice frosty tinge to them. That's really quite cool. Was that in DAC? Or is that this submod? I don't know exactly, but that looks cool. Okay, so we just got to play a little bit of a game of cat and mouse here. Ah! Some of these guys are just like really keen. Check out this guy with the banner. So just trying to skirmish as many of them as we can. Because the more we can reduce those hit points and take out as many of them, we'll save more Orky boy lives. Yeah, so we're doing a lot better against the lighter units. Like, they are dropping like flies. Look at that. The Gondorian defenders. Not so much. So, maybe what I need to do is just sort of grab the majority of my archers further back. Because there's just so many of them. The pathfinding can get a little bit iffy. So we'll make a line and then we'll sort of get one unit to go back and forth. It looks like they're actually charging now. So pull way further back. So if we can angle this up, we'll bait them towards the infantry front line. It looks like they're actually going to try and charge as well. No, they're not. And then we can hit them from the side and we'll get this little trap going on. Yeah, we're really going to town on those lighter units. So it's going to take a little bit of time. This one, we've lost... they've lost 9 to our 4. So we just want to try and weaken them as best as possible, then we'll push in. Because we are going to try and take as many of them out as we can. As in this mod, you can't rush the town square and take it within like 4 minutes or so. There is a 40-minute countdown. So we will have to go for the kills overall, taking the town square. Okay, I've skipped a little bit ahead because we're just trying to skirmish as many of these guys as we can. Or otherwise this episode will go on for hours. So they push some Gondor spearmen out here. So they are trickling one or so units out at a time. Sometimes they're charging my front line. I was about to say sometimes, but they haven't fully gone. We're about halfway through our ammunition. Oh, they're actually charging this time. They're actually fighting my infantry. Well, they ain't going to stand a chance against all these orcs sitting here. Letting a little bit of friendly fire going on. So it might be beneficial for us to charge and surround them. The Battle of Osgiliath is well underway. Yeah, I think I might just grab everyone, because just like... yeah, there we go, look at that. We're about to swarm in and surround them. And halt to stop friendly fire. Okay, we're nearly out of ammunition. And we're halfway through the battle time. So, I think it's time to charge. Yeah, we'll get everyone in. Try and surround and push into the town square. I think we've weakened the Gondor army enough. Like, my heavier, better quality archers have nearly now completely run out of ammunition. So it's time to swarm on in and take this city. Okay. So it's still about, it's more like 60-55% in my favor now. But let's see how these orc boys perform. So we're getting stuck into some Gondorian archers early on. And we'll get our generals to get some individual attack orders out. So there's a fair few ways of attack into the town square here. 3 approaches, which is good. And we'll put you there. We'll just try and surround and swarm them from all sides. So yeah, we've lost 11% of our orcs. Mostly 11% worth of orc archers. And we've managed to eliminate 29% of the Gondorians. But we managed to make this battle a lot easier for us because we managed to destroy basically half of the army on the outskirts. So it would have been a full stack inside, which would have been a harder conundrum. But we're going to get some massive gains if we're victorious here today. Faramir, son of Denethor, brother of Boromir, will be no more. Archers, probably just try and hit the Ithilien Rangers because they are definitely, out of all the units there, got the lowest amount of armor. They're definitely the weakest to hit. Alright. So we just got a lot of generals coming in. We might lose a couple of them, but we'll just have to see how we go. So a lot of these guys have Uruk bodyguard. They should be able to be quite competitive against Gondorian defenders. And some of them have marauders inside. 1339, so that's shot up another 10% now that we're stuck in. The hourglass is just a little bit below 50%. So hopefully we don't run out of time in this one, but I think we've got enough melee attack to do some really decent damage. So once Eastern Osgiliath has fallen, we'll try and push upon the west, and then we can either go straight for Minas Tirith if we've got enough units, or maybe we could go for Calandros. Oh no. So unfortunately, was he Helmrat? So we've lost an orc general there, which is annoying. I don't know which one he was, but it's to be expected. We can get more and recruit more later on anyway. Uh, 50% now. We are slowly but surely progressing into the town square. But it's crazy to see how snowy and frosty both the orcs and Gondorians are. Attacking in winter. Sounds like a very orc thing to do. Do orcs feel the cold as much? Maybe, maybe not. You'd think goblins wouldn't.
If we continue like this, we will
Okay.
smash the
So, we've really got them on the back foot here.
enemy. They have lost half
We're in a really good position now to win this one. Another general's gone as well. Far out. Okay, so we've got some guys in the town square. So yeah, it's a 40-minute countdown, which is kind of crazy. So that means we actually have to go for the numerical win rather than rushing the town square. So we have to eliminate every single remaining Gondorian on this field, which I think is definitely doable. It's just the time. Ugh, and it could be a draw, I guess.
all of the city.
Okay. Only a couple more Gondorians left. We've completely buckled that left flank. And we are just surrounding the last of the Gondorian defenders here. Just get everyone in, and we should be able to claim victory. Yeah, drop your abilities if you can. Whatever. Just use them. Oh, hang on. Faramir's back here. I didn't even see him. I was like, how are we not won yet? Faramir and his rangers fighting to the bitter end. And this should be the last of all the defenders, you'd imagine. We nearly ran out of time. Luckily I caught that unit hanging back here. Hey, clear victory. So we lost about 1,000 while we destroyed theirs. Eastern Osgiliath is now under Mordor occupation. Unfortunately, we lost 2 orc generals, but that'll be fine, as we managed to get rid of Faramir, who's arguably better. Okay, so we'll move our spy to Western Osgiliath. Boromir's inside. You got to be joking. With only 4 units, well, we can't afford him to escape. So we'll quickly just rush Western Osgiliath and try and take it if we can.
Don't waste time. Attack! Is that what you want?
Osgiliath under attack. Okay, so Boromir's inside with only 4 units. Yeah, we've got this one. So, Boromir and Faramir are about to be destroyed. Clear victory. We lost more on that than the actual siege. But Stuart Denethor has lost both his sons. Poor fella. And now we control west and east Osgiliath for Mordor. I wonder if he's inside there. Osgiliath has now been lost. Fires flicker. Zagar. Right, so he's now back. Where's he? Wait, what? Angmar? So, Zagar... Oh, right. So he's now spawned at Barad-dûr. Okay, let's move him towards the front lines. But we also can see the Witch King and Sauron from here. I didn't know that. Where are they? Ah, they're up in the north here. And they're not off map. They don't like spawn in. They're here and they just like teleport. That's kind of cool. There's like Sauron here as well. Oh, yeah, he is too. Alright. We've got access now to Eastern Harad and Rune units. So let's try and get some of them. We're still slowly but surely building up Mordor's army for an offensive at Minas Tirith. We have East and West Osgiliath under our control. We'll eventually get Easterlings at the Black Gate as well. But yeah, we're just slowly but surely building up our military forces so we can strike Gondor. Alright, well, unfortunately guys, it is time to end the first episode here of my Mordor 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer campaign on the AI and Gameplay Overhaul submod. Episode 2 coming out soon, either tomorrow or the next couple of days. We will have the Battle of Minas Tirith. We might even hit Calandros as well. So, 15 turns in, Western and Eastern Osgiliath is firmly under Mordor control. First Lieutenant Guthmog has a full stack, and Zagar as well is accompanying him. Boromir and Faramir are no more, and Steward Denethor is in charge of defending the city of Minas Tirith. So hopefully we can take that in episode 2 coming out soon. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a blast coming back to 3rd Age. It's been like, what, 8 months or so since I've done a yeah, it must have been December when I did a full Rune Let's Play and an Isengard series. I've done a lot of evil factions. Yeah, maybe I should do some good factions in the future. In no particular order, I am open to maybe doing some of these, so let me know in the comments. Maybe playing as the Wood Elves, maybe even like Lothlorien, Dol Guldor. There's still a fair few evil factions. Maybe as the Dwarfs, or Dwarves. I've been playing Warhammer too much to call them Dwarfs. Dwarves, and maybe even the High Elves as well. So there's still a fair few factions I've still yet to play as on this. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Gotta play the outro now and say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members. I'm gonna play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.